afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Nutrition Tips and Tricks. Today is just a brief overview of how to kind of just keep your diet in a healthy range. So before we get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit about me. My name is Merritt Butts. I am a student over at UW-Milwaukee for Nutritional Sciences. I am a senior, and my internship has been with Hope Lutheran Community Pantries. I got involved with them about 2 years ago when I was fulfilling some service learning hours for another class, and I am now actually part of the outreach committee, puts on the community meals over at Hope. I got interested in nutrition after I was in already declared a other major, and then had to nutrition class as part of my curriculum, and everything changed. It was a 180. I was like, I want to do nutrition. This is what I want to do. So let's get started. Some things to keep in mind. You ideally want to follow a 2,000 calorie diet and follow the DRIs, or daily recommended intakes. The two things that we really want to focus on are consuming the macronutrients and the micronutrients. Well, what are macronutrients? That's a big word that packs a punch, honestly. We consume these in larger amounts to provide ourselves with energy. These are the fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. We want to consume about 50 grams of fat each day, and then about 225 to 325 grams of carbohydrates, and then about that 50 to 175 grams of protein each day. Micronutrients, where we find these are where? That is in the vitamins and minerals, honestly. These are vital for body development, disease prevention, and just overall well-being. So as you can see here in the picture, the vitamins, like vitamin A, the B vitamins, the C, D, K, those are the vitamins. They're all different colors. They come in all different shapes and sizes. And then our minerals are like calcium, zinc, potassium, magnesium, sodium, and again, they come in different forms and shapes and sizes. And I'll get to something about those in just a minute. We do want to continue to focus on serving sizes of meal. The picture shown here is actually from myplate.gov, and that helps people guide on how you can eat the best and have the most balanced diet possible. So, what do we want to do? We want to have about 2 cups of fruit each day, about 2.5 cups of vegetables, and then about 5 to 8 cups of ounces of grains. Sorry, I'm got on a roll there. 5 to 8 ounces of grains each day, and then, like I said, there's that 50 to 175 grams of protein each day, and then 3 cups of dairy a day. So what does that mean? We want to have either an 8 by cups, that means 8 ounces. So we want to ideally have probably like a glass of milk, some cheese, cottage cheese, at each meal. Some things to keep in mind, we want to really watch our sugar content. Men, you should only be having 36 grams of sugar each day, and then women should only be having about 25 grams. Something to keep in mind and like to compare with is a can of soda, like a 12-ounce can of soda is about somewhere between 20 and 26 grams of sugar each can. Sodium, the less is better because we want to have less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium each day. And I also want to be filling our plate with rainbows. This is where I said I'd come back to the picture on this slide. They are all different colors because we want to be eating the rainbow. Not necessarily and I do not mean that at all by you want to eat Skittles for every 3 meals a day. It'd be awesome if we could, but unfortunately that would be putting our sugar levels way out in the left field where we cannot bring them down. But we want to be having like carrots, oranges, green beans, peas, bananas. We want to be having different colors in our meals each day. Um, and mainly in the fruits and vegetables is where we're gonna get that because if you think about it, the dairy, it's either gonna be white or like a cream or a orange or because of the cheese and milk and all that. That's all usually one or two, maybe three colors. The grains are usually like your browns, the tans, the beiges, and the protein is usually like a white meat or if you're doing beans as your protein, that's like more of a brown as well, or white or red meat. And so, like I said, fruits and vegetables, that's where we're gonna get the color. You want to have the rainbow. So we're gonna play a quick game of Would You Rather, and we're gonna discuss each option. So the first label here, this is a 12 fluid ounce beverage nutritional label. And then here's another 12 fluid ounce nutrition label. Some things to look at are the calories. The first label is 160. The second is 25 calories. The sodium, there's 0 milligrams on the first one, but there's 65 milligrams on the other. Carbohydrates, the first one is 45, the other is 8. Um, the second label is 5 grams of sugar, while the other one is 43. Now think about what I just told you. Men, you should only be having about 36 grams of sugar. Women, you should be about 25. So what this is telling us is that the crushed grape soda is a lot more less quality because the poppy is going to have a lot more benefits where we can enjoy a lot more. Yes, the poppy may be a little more pricey, but you're going to have a lot more health benefits because you're paying for the price. This one is kind of a trick question. Just gonna put that out there, but let's look. So the first label is 110 calories. The second one is 150 calories. The sodium is 120 on the first label and then 180 on the second one. Carbohydrates are 12 grams on the first and 16 on the other. The first label is actually surprisingly Pringles. And then the second one is the Sensible Portions of veggie chips, sour cream and onion chips. So just because something says it's supposed to be healthier, like the Sensible Portions, does not mean it's always gonna be the same. So one thing I do want to point out is, yeah, the serving size is slightly off, because the Sensible Portion says it's 28 grams per serving, so that's about 12 chips, whereas the Pringles say it's 21 grams. They're so close that those seven chips aren't going to make a huge difference. And our third option, we're going to be looking at the one pop or one bar column to compare. The big thing that I'm noticing right away is the sodium and the calories. Other than that, everything is fairly similar. So these, on the left, it was the Outshine Strawberry Popsicles. The other one was Halo Top 40% less sugar strawberry popsicles. Yes, there is a slight difference, but it's not a huge difference where it's gonna make or break your choices. Hydration is important. You could use popsicles as a way to get your hydration. However, I do not look at that as a way because that is it's something more fun and it's not necessary. So, what is hydration important for? It is important to regulate body temperature, lubricate and cushion joints, as well as remove waste through normal body eliminations. It is important to stay hydrated, to consume water with other low sugar and low calorie beverages. Some of the great examples I have pictured are the ones I drink on a regular basis. I actually really prefer the Mio with water because it's still plain water, it's just got flavoring. There's no calories, no sugar, and you control how strong the flavor is. If you have been to any of our community meals, you will know, you'll recognize the picture here in the center. That is our splash waters. We love those because it's just very refreshing and very simple, clean water that has a flavor. Um, so I also do love the hint waters. That one is just purified water with a slight hint of flavor. You cannot expect a big bold flavor if you want to try that. It's just kind of a whisper of the flavor in the back of your mouth as you drink it. The buys are also a great option. They're very low sugar, very low calorie. And then the ices everybody knows and loves. And then I actually really like the Spindrifts as well. Something comparable is LaCroix if you drink LaCroix. And then obviously vitamin water is also a good option. However, you do have to watch the vitamin waters. I prefer the vitamin waters with the blue bottom half of the label because these often are low calorie, low sugar. The ones with the black bottom often are very high in calories. So if you're trying to watch your calories, watch for the white bottom label. How can we make meals more nutritious? You can add lentils or chickpea pasta. If you're doing like a pasta-based thing. You can also add beans into a meal or by making a dip to make it more kind of nutritionally packed and protein packed. And then nice ways if you're lacking calories is to add cream or butter to foods. You can also add in healthy fats like olive oil. Yeah, that's not gonna provide you a whole lot, but it's gonna add you a couple extra calories here and there. And then if you're also lacking grains, you can add in or substitute meals with wild rice, brown rice, quinoa, and oats, like oatmeal. It often helps add in protein and helps you stay regular. Um, Something to keep in mind is if you are looking for whole grains to add into your diet, you want to look for that whole grain stamp that's in the top right corner of the screen. That is a way to know that the food is certified whole grain. A lot of foods say they are whole grain and they aren't. This stamp is a good way to indicate that it is truly a whole grain. So if you were with me, you know on April 14th, you know that I gave out samples. These are the samples that I did give out. And I can provide you with information on how to find the recipes, on how I made the samples. So the first sample that I made was a yogurt parfait. You just have a yogurt of your choice. I believe I just used a plain vanilla yogurt. And then you have granola, oats, or a whole grain cereal of your choice. A couple of those great options would be like Cheerios or grape nut. Those are some of the good cereals that you should be using as like a granola substitute. Grape nut is more of a granola, but that's always an option. You add in some berries and or fruit. It's just you whatever you prefer, and some dried cranberries or raisins, which are optional, and nuts or nut butter. This is kind of a build your own. This is just a general guideline. But the things with the items with the asterisk, are items available at the Hope Food Pantry. A lot of the time you can ask for them if they're not in your bag or box when you receive them. And then the other recipe I had made that was available on April 14th was that was the cowboy salsa. It's also known as white bean salsa. It's not as gooey or anything as other salsas. It's very dry. But all it takes is white beans, some cucumbers, diced tomatoes, red onion, lemon juice, lime juice, parsley, garlic, salt and pepper, and olive oil. This is a great way to contribute to fiber and protein intake as well as um just kind of making meals different. And again, the items with an asterisk are items that are found at the food pantry. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out or comment below, and I will try to reach out as I can. And always a big, huge thank you for watching today. My name is Merritt again. I am the intern with Hope. I will be done in a few weeks. However, I do hope to continue to run this as long as I'm involved with Hope. You can always email me at that Hope Luth MKE community pantries at gmail.com or comment on the YouTube videos for more nutritional advice or more recipes. Um, Feel free to use that QR code to spread the word about our YouTube. That is a QR code to the YouTube. I know it's a little redundant to have the QR code on a YouTube video, but feel free to use that to share information with friends and family. Thank you.